He cocked 45. You hear a lot these days about subsonic ammo and suppressors and all that kind of thing, and maybe you don't know anything about it. I know nothing about it. Of course, that's never prevented us from getting a camera out and talking, right? Actually, we know a little bit about it, and not experts maybe, but we know a little bit about it. And I thought we'd just try to clarify some things maybe for you while we have some things here today that might help us do that. Need props, good props for this sort of thing. Speaking of real props. Okay, 223, that's one of the topics here because 223 5.56 is a very fast little round, isn't it? And as we all know, if you've been around anybody firing it or you have fired it, you really want ear protection. The best you can come up with. It's very loud. Let me just show you that if you don't believe it. Okay, pick out the old Daniel Defense and take a couple of shots here. Oh, I dropped the magazine. Oh, someone closed the bolt. I bet that was John. It was John. He was admiring this firearm. I had it open so it's easy to seat the mag. I'll just take a couple of shots at that propane tank. Notice now, it will go through it. I'll shoot near the top there. See it hitting the straw behind there? Okay. That will be important later, okay? Just wanted you to notice that. Click, we're clear. All right, that's your full power ammo. And in order to get the sound of that down considerably, you've got to do something. You got to either reduce the velocity dramatically and or put a suppressor on it, all right? And let's just do that. You want to? This is a Mossberg MVP. We're gonna shoot the same ammo. And we have a, let's see, I've now forgotten what we have. Yeah, we have a Silencer Co. Suppressor on that, the Saker. And let's just take a couple of shots with the same ammo. I won't even put my ears on. And it's not silent, but it's not too bad either, okay? I noticed the long mags. This thing will take AR mags, but it doesn't do as well with the longer ones, I've noticed. I didn't bring a 10-round mag out. So, there we go. We'll get one in the chamber here. There we go. Safety on. Well, let's leave my ears off. All right, I'll shoot the propane tank there in the same place, pretty much, near the top. Okay, notice it's going through. Hitting in the straw behind it. Even though it's not as loud, you still got basically the same velocity, okay? Even with the suppressor, okay? Full power ammo there. All right. So if you want to reduce the sound, you've got to do something. And you notice, you don't notice it as well, of course, at home, but I didn't need ears. It didn't hurt my ears. If I was going to shoot a lot, I might wear ears. I don't know. It's one of those things. You're talking 3,000 feet per second, you know, with 5.56, and that's 5.56 ammo. It's not 223. Probably 31 or 32. 100 feet per second, but you can bring it down to where it's civilized, right? With the suppressor, it does a lot of things. It reduces the airflow back in, it baffles it, and it just creates a quieter experience for you. That's what a suppressor does. It all has to do with that, just getting that on the end of the barrel, whether it's a bolt gun or a semi-automatic or anything. Okay, so you're suppressing it to some extent. There, with some ammo, you can almost totally suppress it. Very difficult with 223. How are you going to suppress 3,000 feet per second or even 2,000 feet per second, right? What is it that makes the sound? It makes most of that loud noise. It's that crack you get from breaking the sound barrier. And of course, the speed of sound is what, boys and girls? It's over 1,100 feet per second, what, 1,127? So you've got to get under that threshold in order to make much difference, whether you have a suppressor or not. It's the reason you're on the range and you hear somebody down the way shooting something that your head just about explodes. It's so loud, the concussion and everything. It's that velocity. It may be a big bore gun as well, but it's that velocity. Okay, it's what does it. Because again, as we have demonstrated in another video, I don't remember the name of the video, 22 caliber is 22 caliber. We shot a pan or something with a 22 long rifle, and we shot a pan right beside it with one of these. The holes are the same. You know, caliber is caliber. The difference mainly is the velocity between a 22 long rifle and this. These are a little heavier, but not a lot heavier. What, 40 grains versus 55. It's the velocity, and velocity equals noise. Okay, so that's one of the things. Now, one question we get a lot whenever we bring out a suppressor, and you know, NC Silencer comes around occasionally, we get some cool stuff they help us with, and a comment you see, now again, it's from new shooters, maybe it could be from anybody, but is why are you shooting? Why aren't you shooting subsonic ammo? You know, if you have a 223, 5.56, get some subsonic ammo. You know, if you want it to be quiet, you want it to be silenced, you want it to be really suppressed, why are you shooting regular ammo? You know, well, you can do that, and that's what we have today. We have some of this. It is subsonic. It's under 1,100 feet per second. I'm not sure exactly what it is, and it is 5.56 or 223, and it does become more quiet. Let's take a couple of shots with it, and I'll show you if you don't believe me. I've got it in one of those big mags again, but I think it'll be okay. Get it. Well, and that's funny, you know, we have messed with this rifle some and had not experienced that with the 10 round mags or 20 round mags. There we go. All right. Now, I definitely should not need my ears. Let's take a couple shots here. I can even shoot the steel with this. I'll shoot the cowboy. See? See, let's not shoot steel. Let's shoot that stump. See? Now that's pretty quiet for a 223. The only way you're going to get that is with really low velocity, not breaking the sound barrier, and then a suppressor, of course, on top of that. That's how you get there. All right. Now, what are the disadvantages? Well, the advantage is it's quiet. But what have you done there? You have created a firearm that is very much like a 22 long rifle. Have you not? I mean, think about it. You know, here's some 22 long rifle CCI. The velocity is 1235. That's the kind of stuff a lot of us shoot. And you know, it actually has more velocity than what I just fired, because that's under 1,100, and I don't know what it is, maybe 1,000 feet per second or something, or 900. And so when you do have subsonic 5.56 or 223, one of the points here is you have essentially turned your fairly powerful rifle into what? A 22 long rifle, maybe 22 Magnum. I don't know, you may have more scientific information. I think it's probably between 22 long rifle and 22 Magnum, you know, power and velocity, that kind of thing. But you've really reduced it. Okay, so there's not a lot of advantages to shooting subsonic 223. Depends on the purpose. There's always a specific purpose or an operation where it might be exactly what the doctor ordered. But just bear in mind, you're turning it into a 22 Magnum or 22 long rifle maybe. Okay, let me show you something here. We happen to have a 22 long rifle. Let's take a shot at that propane tank, and this is ready to shoot. We shot a couple of shots here. I'm going to shoot right in the side. I'll put a couple there, kind of to the left of it. There we go. We're on safe. I got 3 hits in a row there, kind of stacked on top of each other. Now we can shoot these out of anything. They don't have to be silenced. Let's shoot them out of this thing. How's that? Okay. I want to show you something else about it. All right. I'm going to shoot these to the right. Now this is a 223. This is 5.56. Remember those first ones I shot? They went through that thing like it was butter. Let's see what these subsonic rounds do. I'm going to shoot just to the right of that line of 3. Huh, is that a malfunction? Oh, I bet I know what it is. It's not powerful enough to work the action. See? Put another one there. So you end up with a semi-automatic or a single shot. A single shot, okay? It doesn't even move the bolt, okay, if that tells you anything. Put that back up there. Let's go down and take a look at it. Get up here, where's my official pointer? Here it is. Official pointer. Okay, now these are the 22 long rifle. Okay, and then that's the Subsonic 223. In fact, they didn't even seem to hit as hard. Okay, so on the right you've got the 5.56, left you've got 22 long rifle. All right. Now again, and then up here you got the full power, and they drilled a hole in the front and they drilled a hole in the back and went out into the dirt. Okay. So now again, we're not scientists. I'm not a scientist, even though I have played one on TV. But that's just kind of give you a ballpark idea about what the difference is and what you are doing with a 5.56, a 223, when you bring it down to subsonic level. You lose your punch, whatever punch you have. Some folks think the 5.56 has no punch to begin with, right? But so you're turning it into something in the ballpark. You know, whatever it is, it's a little bit stronger generally, I think most people would say, than a 22 long rifle. And steel sometimes is not the best, you know, indicator of that, but it gives you some idea, you know, because most things with any velocity punch right into those things and go out the back side. So that's what you got. You reduce. That's the reason I think that 5.56 subsonic is not more popular. You know, you don't see it in the stores stacked. Oh yeah, everybody's looking for that. Let's get a suppressor and shoot a bunch of 5.56. Well, for one thing, you saw what it does to an AR. It turns it into a single shot. You know, it doesn't work the bolt, for one thing, and so that's one of the negatives. And also, it's heavier. It's generally going to be a heavier bullet, and so the rifling is not going to have probably a twist rate that's going to stabilize it as well either. So for close range, it's probably going to be fine. Just depends on what you need it for. All right. So anyway, we wanted to just make that point about the 5.56, especially because we get a lot of questions about that. And then just demonstrate, you know, suppressor, what it does, the velocities, you know, how much you have to reduce them for it to really suppress very much. And then also, you notice when I was shooting the full power ammo with the suppressor, it does make it a lot more civilized. That's one of the attractions of it, and that's why a lot of people do put suppressors on ARs. They can go out without their ears, really, if they want to. You can wear your ears if you like. It's kind of like, depending on your suppressor, it's like shooting a 22 long rifle, something in that vicinity, maybe a little less. And obviously, that's a long way from a standard 5.56, right? If you've ever heard that before. So that's one reason the 300 blackout it came into existence. I started to say it became so popular. I don't know how popular it is really yet, but it's a heavier, bigger bullet going subsonic. So generally speaking, I think I'm pretty correct in this. If you're going to be shooting subsonic, it might be better to have a heavier bullet, because obviously if you got a bullet going 800 feet per second or 1,000 feet per second, and that's it, then maybe heavier is better, right? So big old 220 grain bullet going 1,000 feet per second is going to hit harder than, you know, a 50 grain bullet or a 75 grain bullet going the same speed. We all know that. Just like, you know, I'd rather get hit with a little piece of gravel going 800 feet per second than a hammer, you know, going that, or I'd rather get by the gravel than the hammer, or a pea than the hammer, you know. So anyway, I lost track of my point, didn't I? So anyway, this little information hopefully didn't confuse you too much, but a demonstration of what a suppressor does and how it kind of works, and the advantages, disadvantages of 223. So that's what kind of brought this up. John and I have talked about that. We had a lot of questions about it. Where's your 223 subsonic ammo? I have no desire to go buy a bunch of 223 subsonic ammo. Even if I had a full-time suppressor that I could pop on my 223 anytime I wanted, I don't know that I'd even have any subsonic 223 in the house, maybe, other than just for a video. Okay, so that probably sums it up as well as anything. So anyway, life is good.